Okay, this video is going to be the stack, but before I go on with the stack, let's notice that I've changed my material to ABS plastic, and I also gave it a paint job. Now, I know there's a bunch of crazy colors here. Remember that you're going to be putting these drawings in documents and printing them later, so you're going to need to pick colors that complement each other and are going to print out well. So don't pick a bunch of crazy colors that don't look good together. You could, for the parts, you could pick wood for some of the parts. Some of the parts should definitely be ABS plastic, and then of course your axles and some of your pegs, your magnet, need to be metal, steel, or brass. Anyways, so I've got this train body saved. Let's do a new part. And again, right away, first thing I want to do is save it. And this is going to be the stack. Okay, and as we look at the stack, you could revolve it. That would be one thing to do. But the easiest thing to do is going to be to do an extrusion and then a loft. So on the stack here, let's see, and to build it that way, I want to build this from the bottom up. So when I go to create a sketch, I want to start on the bottom, and we'll go ahead and just sketch a circle that's 1/2 inch diameter, and go ahead and extrude that up 1/4 inch. Let's put a sketch on that plane. A loft takes 2 sketches, and then we're going to need a work plane. So if we look at the work plane we need, I want to loft up to this edge here, which is 1.5 inches above the bottom. So when we select a work plane, we want to offset that from a plane. So if I select the bottom, it automatically picks offset, and we want to go 1.5 inches, but we want to make that go the other direction. So actually, the way that got selected, that needs to be negative. So negative 1.5 inches. Now yours might be positive if your selection was a little different. But okay, so that work plane gets up offset 1.5 inches above, and then we'll create sketch on there. I don't know why that flipped around the other way. Of course, make sure that you use the center point. That center point automatically gets projected, but that's the only geometry that gets projected. Diameter 1.25 inches. Go ahead and finish the sketch, and then select loft. And you'll notice when we're doing a loft, you have to select sketches to add. So you select a sketch to add. Oops. Let's try that again. So it's sometimes easier to select from the browser. So I selected that sketch, and then I'd click again to add another sketch, then select sketch 3, and there's the loft. Okay, after doing the loft, we turn the visibility off on that plane. Let's do another sketch on the top. And you'll notice the way the rest of that, we need to extrude up another 1/4 inch with a 15-degree taper. So let's go ahead and extrude again another 1/4 inch. If we go into the more section, there's the taper. If you put in a 15, you'll notice that that made it get bigger, so it actually needs to be a negative 15 degrees to make it taper to get smaller. And then finally, we need to drill a counterbore hole for the stack. So I just put a sketch on there to give me my center point, and you'll see that that hole, that counterbore, is 0.375 deep. Overall depth, 1.5 inches. The counterbore is 0.875 deep, or 0.875 diameter, 0.375 deep. And you'll notice that both of those are flat bottom holes. So we'll pick the hole tool. We're doing a counterbore, 0.875, that's 0.375 deep for the counterbore, and the entire diameter, or entire depth, is 1.5 deep. Was that 0.37? Yeah, 0.375 diameter. Okay, and of course pick a complementary color. Go ahead and make that ABS plastic, and I'll pick a complementary color. I don't know that I want a white smokestack. I'll pick a complementary color here. And that's the stack.